Hey everyone, Jocular Claymore here, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. So last time, we sang karaoke. You can see our drip here. We got the bow tie, we got the silk jacket, we got our boombox on our shoulder, and we killed it. We went up on stage, we sang our sad song, and we killed it. It was awesome. And we are approaching the end of day 3, so there are a couple of things that I have in mind. First, we did get a skill point last time, so let's go ahead and do that. We already leveled up the Psyche tree, and next I want to move on to the Physique tree. So I think the last skill that I leveled up was Shivers. See what else we got. We could go with Endurance, Pain Threshold, Physical Instrument, Electrochemistry Shivers, or Half-Light. And I have no idea what to expect, moving forward, like if we're going to face any physical harm to us. So that's why I think Endurance and Pain Threshold would be good to have. Yeah, we'll put one in Endurance, why not? Okay, we got that. Next. Yes, we finished the task. Now something that I looked into. Remember that we were trying to get 2 signatures for Evrard. So we got a signature from Lillian, but Isabel, the old washerwoman, refused to sign for us. And it looked like we were stuck there because we had already tried a suggestion check and it didn't work. And we apparently got locked out of it. So I did look online for suggestions on what to do next, and I think there is something that we haven't tried yet. So the envelope that Ervard gave us, this white envelope here, we can interact with it, and Kim should have a suggestion. So let's try this.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40-month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum. Underneath all this, Lillian's signature and an empty line waiting for a signee.
So as you can see, we got 1 signature, but Ervard asked us for 2. Let's look at the zoning plan, see what we learned from this.
The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall.
Yeah, and that's what Isabel was saying, is that, oh, Mr. Clare is going to build this structure right in the middle of our streets, the ones that we use to get between our houses, which is messed up, right? I mean, I like Mr. Clare's idea of a youth center and all that, but not at the expense of people living there, right? It's a form of gentrification. What else do we got?
It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall, practically integrating them into the youth center. This is either an ominous or cool architectural choice. Hard to say. My money is on cool. Looks like a cubic pyrite.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect solution, but...
How else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient to build things, and citizens inevitably have disagreements over such construction projects. But there's no other way.
We got a +1 for centers very close to houses. Okay, +1 for ominous shape. I guess that's from the information we just gathered from looking into the zoning plan. And -1 cool cubic pyrite. But still 83% chance, so let's try to find a loophole in the deal.
There is no loophole. The simple truth is, the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 14 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
Yeah, like, I feel for these people. At the same time, from what it sounded like, a majority of the people already signed off on this, and the only person left is Isabel. But her concerns are valid as well, so we can think to ourselves, wait, what are the ramifications of this?
Once the construction starts, it will probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
Yeah, it looks like a way to just get people out. Look, Kim, these people are going to have to move away because of the noise.
Of course, I should have seen it.
The lieutenant frowns as he reads over the document again.
Everard probably has eyes on us, but if the second signature were to be somehow wrong,
Yeah, so this is what I heard that Kim would suggest. He would suggest forging the second signature. Because also, like, Ervart is smart and he's got eyes everywhere, right? So he would probably know if we tried this. But he's not being honest with us either. And I'm pro union and pro worker and all that, but there's just something about that man doesn't sit right with me. Alright, what else?
He won't say it outright,
Mm-hmm.
but he's suggesting forgery.
You're suggesting.
forgery, yes. It would render the document invalid.
Oh, yeah, let's do this.
It's not the sort of act I would normally encourage, but under the circumstances, if done discreetly, it may be the only way to save what's left of the village.
And that's what we're going to try. And I think I know who can help us. So let's see.
Or you could try to trick Everard. Get someone random to sign the document. By the time the union boss finds out, your business here will already be concluded.
Yeah, we're not even going to try to do this ourselves, so we're going to put this back. We can also change our clothes. This menus always give me trouble. There we go. Alright. So it's 20:01. It's not too late. Yeah. I say... Okay, well, let's read this. Forge the signatures, but somewhere private where you feel safe enough to sleep. Find someone to sign the documents of the intended signees. Okay, so I have an idea. I wonder if people have reactions to our singing.
Again? I can't believe this.
Nope. You?
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Nope.
Hi again, Gendarme.
No.
Bye-bye, Gendarme.
Alright, seems like no one has anything to say about our singing. I mean, Garth did. He said, oh, it wasn't that bad. That's cool. Okay. Go to our map. Fast travel to the shacks. I did hear that if you sleep over, if you stay in that shack for the night, that Isabel will be more willing to hear you out. But I don't think that would reset our suggestion check because, as you can see
Policeman.
here, yeah, we're locked out
What
of
can
it.
our village do for you?
And the only thing we can do is put skill points into it, but we already did that, so I think we are just locked from this. But that's fine. We will move on. Okay. So last episode we met these fellas. What was his name? Idiot Doom Spiral, if I recall.
Tequila
Yeah.
Sunset.
And we learned that we had named ourselves Tequila Sunset like a few nights before, and we crashed our car into the frozen lake. So that was interesting. Okay. So we already asked, what do you guys do around here? We could ask, sign this document. We could supply him with booze if he'll supply stories. So you know what? Just in case, because we've already died twice, and I am not doing that again. So we're doing a manual save. Now let's talk to him.
Tequila Sunset.
Okay, sign the document.
What's it about? I'll let my hand address the situation. Maybe you've heard. I used to be a very successful businessman. I've signed more than a few lease forms or whatever the fuck they were. Anyone's got a pen? The pro's gonna do it.
Alright, I'm glad we still got our pen, the one that Kim lent us.
All right.
He grabs the pen and paper from your hands and very carefully scribbles on the dotted line next to Lillian Carter, Idiot Doom Spiral. He actually signed that name. That's amazing. Okay. You've done a great service to the community, to the RCM, and to Revachol. Oh, sure.
Hey guys, I'm a hero.
He hands you the envelope and waves his hand erratically at his companions.
Hell yes!
The red-nosed drunk brings his hand up to his head for a salute.
Don't call Abigail!
The drunk in the pipe snorts and takes a swig from his bottle. The bottle is empty.
Thank you for your help. Should we go and mail this? I think I saw a mailbox on the plaza.
Okay, I want to ask these guys a couple of things first.
Okay, what's on your mind?
I don't think we got the pen back.
Don't know if I've mentioned it, but I used to be a businessman. And as a businessman, I am going to keep the pen. For my trouble.
That's funny, so he keeps it anyway.
No, that was my favorite thing of all the things you have.
Please
This
don't
had better be worth losing.
lose morale over this.
My favorite was the gun he lost.
Okay, it didn't seem to hurt us, so that's good. You've done a great service.
Hey guys.
Hell, don't call.
Thank you for your help. Should we go?
Okay, what's on your mind?
And we can ask him for stories. We'll come back to that. Alright, now put the envelope in the mailbox in the plaza. So let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully, doing this in the evening when it's dark improves our chances of not being seen by Everard's people, but we can only hope.
The dented yellow
Oh,
mailbox
yeah.
greets you with its graffito, bullet holes, and an RCM sticker.
I remember a few episodes back we actually padded the mailbox. Yeah, it's like we did pat it. We could kick it, but why would we do that? I knew we'd get to use his mailbox or something.
Yes, for sending mail.
Right?
You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
Yeah, exactly. We can't really trust him.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
Alright, I suppose we can do that now. And there's no fast travel to Everard, unfortunately. There are only 3 fast travel spots in the game that I know of. And we are going to do a manual save before talking to Everard, just in case we mess things up. Alright, let's do it.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
It's done. I mailed you the signatures you asked me to mail.
The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this.
Yeah, of course.
My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
Okay, he seems to believe us, but I don't know.
Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in.
Okay, so we can say the signatures I got. I know you plan to force them out with the construction noise. You can save that for later. Did you order the hangman killed? Can I get my gun now? Can I get my gun now?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done.
Yeah, of course. Of course he was withholding that information. Fine, where is it?
An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway, the neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
She was waving it around at people?
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt.
We might be looking at someone with a medical history here. Watch out.
Who is this old woman?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
The pigs, huh?
There it is again. The pigs. Like Roy said, not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
A smile flickers in the corner of his mouth.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction.
Can you set up a meeting?
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
Okay, that's not far from now.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Did you order the hangman killed?
I did not, Harry. Although I am very, very glad he's dead.
What do you gain from him being dead?
Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war.
They're trained military people. Aren't you afraid for your men?
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1. And that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
How is this connected to the strike?
Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing.
Skill point.
We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go.
Hey,
He's
not a
too
nice word.
nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance.
Weird thing to say. We could ask what? Or why are you telling me your plans?
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening.
How many of you guys are there in the Union?
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol.
How are you going to fund your new independent harbor?
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The
poo-poo.
clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything.
Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day.
You can't possibly hope to continue like you have. Clients will leave en masse. Everything?
We've been running back channel negotiations with all the major clients. I think the company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities.
That's just the top of the iceberg, though, isn't it?
The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column.
In bulk shipping, large volume column is a major buyer, a shark.
We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his Benefed and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperidone.
Benefed is a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and risperidone is used to treat severe psychosis.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidone.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share, and I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
He's basically admitting to it.
Okay, we can say, drugs are a no-go for me, I'll report this. I have to admit, that's a well put together plan and far removed from you. Interesting stuff, I just want to solve this murder, okay? Makes sense to regulate the drug trade like this, keeps it out of more dangerous hands. Yeah, I don't know, this is interesting. What kind of person, what kind of cop do you want to be here? I just want to solve this murder.
You know why you're such a good detective, Harry? You don't get sidetracked. You care about the people you're supposed to protect, not some systems that may or may not be unethical.
Well, that's not true either. I do care about unethical systems. But I don't know.
Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez.
Go on.
Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel. I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight.
Well, I mean, if it has the word incorporated in it, then I like it. I'm a money guy. It's very ambitious. I love what you're doing for the working man. I'm not feeling a whole lot of Revachol here on the Flags for Kings. Honestly, it's just not my place to judge. I don't know. Let's try this.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you. You have no idea how much it means to me, because in many ways, you are that working man. You have already done so much work.
The signatures I got, I know you plan to force them out with the construction noise.
Harry, by now you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the construction noise and limited street access makes some people consider moving, well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally enjoy a significant uptick in quality of life. I'm talking real affordable workers' palaces.
He proudly spreads his hands to demonstrate the size of the palaces. They're very large.
So the village is doomed.
You were there, you saw the place, a wasteland. There's nothing left. But mark my words, officers, we are going to reset it.
Yeah, I just feel like there's a better way to do it, but the story must go on.
Reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal buildings and commerce.
What do you mean?
Harry, imagine a youth centre supermarket church complex, employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turned into low-income housing. Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on.
Youth supermarket church complex. Do you really expect me to believe that? Low-income housing? If even part of this is true, then why not? And life. I knew you were a man of the people of art.
Yes, I do. I got the centre, I got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years, I'll get the church too. The wheels are already turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on.
There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the state of things, and even a touch of pain. And then there will be a giant statue of him towering above it all.
Did he mention a statue, or are we just, I think we're just speculating that part. I knew you were up to something.
Damn right I'm up to something, Harry. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as Joyce Messier. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace.
Can I ask you about specific union members?
We'll pass specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big-time mode, Harry.
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
Okay, that's it for now.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union.
Suddenly, there's sadness in his tone.
This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
A few more questions about the harbor.
I'm always happy to educate and very nice, Harry.
Alright, looks like we're done here. We got a skill point, but I'm gonna hold on to that. We are gonna confront the pigs at 2200. Well, we have between 2200 and 2 o'clock, I think. So that gives us some time to talk to Leo over here. Mr. Container, Container.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo. No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is always up for sharing.
Yeah, so we have this new option. Leo, you seem to know everyone around here. I want to ask about someone.
Mr. Evrat doesn't really want me to talk to people about union guys. But who did you want to talk about?
Tell me about this Edgar guy you keep mentioning.
Mr. Edgar is Mr. Evrat's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does, but a very smart fellow. Very smart fellow indeed. He's away on some union business. Not even in Revachol, they say. All kinds of places he visits. Him and his brother both do when they're on a vacation. Right now, it's Mr. Everett's turn to look after the union. But last year he spent a whole winter in South Africa. Left with the first autumn rains and didn't come back before the trees were green again.
South Safari. A lot of bulk chemical manufacturing going on there. A lot of cargo shipments being made too. The trade must have been lucrative for the trip to be so long.
Tell me about Mañana.
He's a union man through and through. Good guy. He's very calm, laid back, doesn't do much, talks to Everett sometimes. Honestly, I don't know what he does for us, but it must be important because everybody likes him. Yes, they do. I think that's what he does. He makes everyone feel a little better.
Yeah, I like Mañana. Measurehead, on the other hand, the super mega racist, tell me about him.
Whoa, he's really something. He doesn't talk much to me usually, but when he does, I don't really understand most of what he's saying. Actually, I don't think he would like me running my mouth about him like that. Once he said he's a dragon to this mob fellow who came picking a fight with some union men. I think he really believes Jean-Luc was a dragon because he ran right off. Another time he almost killed another guy, but I shouldn't talk about that.
Tell me about Titus.
Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through and through. He was born on a boat, they say. His veins are probably filled with salt water, I tell you. Nice, friendly sort, old Titus is.
He's probably one of those rare specimens who are born when two drunk seamen stumble on top of each other on the
Seamen.
deck amidst a storm so violent it flings whales around.
It reminds me of The Lighthouse with Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. Like, just that idea of two drunk seamen getting violent. Tell me about Evrart.
I'd best not. I mean, I could, but I don't think Mr. Everett would like it very much. You better ask him yourself, mister.
If anything, the ever-present smile on Leo's face gets even warmer. Okay, tell me about Renee.
The night guard. Ooh, he's a peculiar fellow. He's the strong, silent type, you could say. We talk all the time, but I don't really know much about him. He plays petanque with my old human studies teacher, Mr. Martin, down at the plaza. I think he's the only fellow who actually knows old Renee.
That must be Gaston.
They lived on the same street their entire lives. Even dated the same girl on and off for as long as I can remember.
Ooh, they
Strange
dated the
fellows.
same
Mr.
girl.
Martin was always real nice to me in school. I remember once.
And we found her picture, a picture of her and Renee in his booth. Interesting. Hold up, Gaston was your human studies teacher?
Mr. Martin, yes. Don't really remember much about him. I was just a boy back then.
But they both seem like old men. What's the age difference, I wonder? But okay.
Mr. Martin, Gaston also taught history and human studies to the Clear brothers.
Okay, anything else?
Sure, mister. What can Leo do for you?
I think that's it. Alright. Very interesting. So I suppose the next thing to do is head to the meeting spot and speak with the pigs, who has our gun. And what they say is true, that she's, unstable and all that. There's a chance that she could shoot us. And it looks like we have 2 life bars left. So we're definitely going to do a manual save before talking to her, just in case. I know we can also get health by, oh my god, these stairs. There we go. We can also heal up by sleeping, but tonight seems to be the night. I wonder if you can recover health and morale from sitting on the bench, but I'm not sure. Alright, we're gonna fast travel to... the shacks. We can pass the time with stories from Idiot Doom Spiral.
Tequila sunset.
Hey, sorry for being a buzzkill earlier. I'll supply the booze if you'll supply the stories.
Wonderful.
Here, I got a potent Pilsner. Actually, yeah, so this Pilsner, I think... Does this heal us? I'm gonna do a quick save just in case. I want to see something. Because we also have only 1 morale. So this could very well end the game. Did that work?
Well, hello. Someone seems to have found himself a bottle of alcohol. Here's where the magic happens.
Look at the bottle.
What a solid can of mass-produced piss water. Well over 10% alcohol in this so-called beer. Pop it open before it gets too warm. Wow, the gods of mass production have made this alcohol container laughably easy to open. A child could have done it.
Open the bottle.
There's a satisfying pop as the cap comes off, and the hair on your back rises like an army at attention. You've been here before. Welcome back, detective. You're home now.
What will be the repercussions if I take that sip?
Nothing. Some mental stuff. Nothing to be worried about. Physically, you'll be strong as an ox.
Alright, well, let's see. Physique raised.
Despair creeps into you.
Yeah,
Getting fat on
that's
your
what I thought.
weakness. You're still
Fuck me? I understand this is.
nothing
Oops.
you cop gives up.
Yeah. Just as I thought. Now, that death doesn't count because we were testing something and we knew very well that it could lead to a death. Okay, so it does raise your physique and lower your morale. And since we just had the one morale and we got rid of that, it was game over. So, good to know. Okay, so we haven't used it. Right. Best not to mess with that, so we're just going to go ahead and hear out Idiot Doom Spiral.
Tequila? Wonderful. Not much, but it will do.
He grabs the bottle from your hand and uncorks it immediately.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
One of the other bums interjects.
Don't call Abigail.
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder / junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm.
Go on.
I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane.
Did the jogging help?
It did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit.
He says thoughtfully, brushing dust off his shit-stained pants. What happened?
One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
He shakes the bottle and makes a ringing sound.
His eyes are clouded. His dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles. His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see. At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly.
How wet are we talking exactly? Go on.
I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass.
Ouch.
Ouch, indeed. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key.
You gotta be shitting me.
I wish I were, Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the office.
Okay, so what happened next?
I rang my neighbors' buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them,
I wouldn't know.
especially since I was known to be one of the best.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
Wait, is that it? I feel like there are some steps missing. I'm almost homeless myself. Doesn't seem so bad. Look on the bright side, you got one hell of a story. You do realize all this is your own fault? There's this black coin in the world, a hole. It's already claimed an entire commercial area. Maybe you're another one of its victims. I literally can't believe it. A lot of options here. I'm feeling either 5 or 6. Let's try that.
This would explain a lot. I always believed it wasn't my fault that I ended up homeless on the beach with these two bums.
He looks at his partners with a glint of sadness.
God bless them, though. I'd be alone without them. Anyway, that was all the story one bottle gets you. Almost empty, this one.
Let me see. You must meet her near the old fish market at 2200. Just walk past the fishing village until you see the boardwalk. Is that the boardwalk where we found the body of Billy's husband? I guess we'll see. 2200. Got it. Have you got any more stories?
I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank is running quite low. If you catch my drift.
I don't have any on me right now.
Cottonmouth is keeping my tongue imprisoned.
Why do you keep losing all your stuff?
Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece Lycra tracksuit? I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks.
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with?
Oh yeah, we did find a jacket. It was covered in bird shit, and then we asked Isabel to wash it for us, so... What's this about a lost jacket?
Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my Lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila?
You mean this jacket that I discovered on the boardwalk and had cleaned on a whim? The man examines the jacket for a moment, a look of consternation on his brow.
Nah, this isn't it.
Oh.
Found? That's medium concept stuff. Totally not my style.
So you're saying there's another lost jacket out there somewhere?
It's a big world out there, Tequila. Lot of lost jackets in it. Don't know why you'd think this could possibly be mine.
Hey, Doom Spiral. Ain't that the jacket you stole the other week?
Not on your fucking life, Rosemary. What's wrong with you people? Like I'd be caught dead wearing fawn, like some low-concept bicycle courier.
I like this guy's voice a lot.
Tell you what, Tequila. Why don't you just hang on to that one? I'll get another jacket. Someday.
At least you got a nice jacket for your troubles. Okay,
He's seeing you.
let's step aside for a second.
Hmm.
I have something I want to talk about.
Okay. We finished that, right? What's up, Kim?
I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style.
My style? What about it?
To be perfectly blunt, you are dressed like a bum, and you smell like one too.
Thank you.
You have developed a bit of a rind over the past few days.
Are you kidding me?
Despair creeps into you,
Kim, you just
hitting
killed us.
fat on your weakness. You're still coming up with sentences.
Yes, it can be difficult to be on the receiving end.
Nothing you can cop gives up.
Jeez. And it's like, I do have an idea. I want to see something. I'm gonna go in here. Talk to her.
Hello, mister.
Talk about the toy.
It's Lammy.
Lambie is a stuffed.
Yes. Isn't he soft?
Oh man, last time we did this, it healed our morale. I was hoping that it would work again. Damn it. Okay, are you Lillian's daughter?
Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom?
Yes, we met earlier.
That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything. Bye!
Alright, well, we tried. Okay, so we're just not gonna talk to Kim. At least not right now, because we... Damn.
Tequila sunset. Wonderful.
Okay, be right back. We have to go through all this dialogue again.
Not
I'm gonna save here. See if we can pass the time with a book. We read this. I think we read this already.
The face of King Fleecell smiles at you. For some reason, the smile now strikes you as more forced than it did before.
What is Kunst and Kultur?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you. Obviously because it's cool to drop random phrases in foreign languages. It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit. The main feature, though, is a long essay
Read the
titled
profile of CS.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Alright, let's see what these communists have to say about Tip Top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée.
Wait, what's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
Hang on, who wrote this stuff?
Oddly enough, this article has two bylines: Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. There's no way those are real names.
Wait, why aren't they real names?
Have you ever met anyone named Exilus. Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms.
What's so bad about sponsorships?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity.
I wonder how that applies to YouTube.
Thus, the so-called tourney becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a Frita.
Right, but then you get to see them crash.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Wow, you're right. I really am just in it for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tourney is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
We can ask him some stuff. Did you know the tourney's actually... This article says that no one really watches Tip Top Tourney for the races.
Oh, come on. Can this article read your mind?
It seems to think so.
A certain kind of young man reads 1 or 2 books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality.
Attitude.
If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I'd take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Let's see what they mean by local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dockworkers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution so long as it's only redistributed upward.
That is so true.
It's true. The rentiers have been bleeding you dry. You really ought to find your own place one of these days. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Let's see what the kid's textbook has to say.
You hold in your hand the colorful primer. The title reads, A Primer for Small Kids. There's a bear involved.
Flip through the pages.
Every page has one word designating one letter of the alphabet with a faded illustration. Most of them are scientific and cultural principles. It goes as follows.
Let's do this.
A is for azimuth. B is for Boreas. C is for cosine. D is for diamite. E is for ellipse. F is for phlogiston. G is for gamete.
This is way too high level for an elementary book.
H is for homeboy. I is for econ. J is for Eura. K is for collapse. L is for laudanum. M is for myriad. N is for nadir. O is for aureole. P is for perihelion. Q is for quasar. R is for rhododendron. S is for sinus. T is for tricolor. U is for ultra. V is for vector. W is for Wahrheit. X is for xylophone. Y is for Ustava. Z is for zenith.
That's it?
That's it. You know the alphabet now.
And it is now 2200. Okay. So, to find this person... No. You must meet her near the old fishing market at 2200 and get your service item. Just walk past the fishing village until you see the boardwalk. Not gonna lie, the map isn't super helpful.
Great news. The boat is big enough for a grown man like you to fit underneath it in a supine position.
Wait, what would I be doing under there?
I don't know. Sleeping? What do people do under boats? This is merely a measurement from your visual cortex. Do with it what you want.
Okay. A creaking ahead, a broken axle grinding. So I had to look it up because, yeah, like the map is just not helping me. So there's this area here that yeah, looks like we haven't explored this area. Hopefully this is the place. Can we cross here? Yeah. We can cross here, but there are some interactables here. Hopefully we can find some healing items. Yes. Traffic beyond the gate, more abandoned motor lorries. The sign says no entry. Someone scribbled an inverted star on it. Got some sunglasses. +1 empathy, -1 logic. Interesting. Can't cross here. Oh wait, this is the way back. Yeah, that's the pawn shop. Okay. So that's the way back to Martinique. I see. Doesn't look like we can go this way. Okay, I have an idea where she is. Okay, so she's supposed to be up here. Yes. Oh wow, interesting. Alright, time to do a manual save. Here
Put
we
your hands
go.
where I can see them.
Ah! Scared the shit out of me. The aging woman under a mountain of police paraphernalia mumbles to herself, then notices you and reaches for the megaphone.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. A flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand.
She's quite a character. Love the design.
Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
Okay. Wait, what should we do, Kim? Raise your hands. Easy, ma'am. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress! Officer, under duress!
Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins protrude on her forehead.
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous.
Ma'am, I need you to calm down. We just want to talk.
Lateral vascular neck restraint. Carotid sleeper. Carotid sleeper. Critically reducing blood from passing through the neck of the suspect.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
Yeah, because if there's something the police know, it's de-escalation. Let's try. We did our save.
The situation looks bad. Calm yourself. Steady your breathing. This is dangerous. You're 70% certain you always leave your gun loaded.
We can solve this peacefully. Please lower the weapon.
Officer in need of assistance! Suspect at large! Get on the ground!
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Let's just talk, alright?
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot! Big red key! Big red key!
Big red key? That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. You know this.
Please identify yourself, ma'am.
It's the goddamn police, shitbag! Hug the pavement! You're under arrest!
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs?
You're not the police, we are the police.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed!
Lieutenant W. Freighter Harrier Dubois, 41st Precinct. This is my partner, Lieutenant Kitsuragi from the 57th.
No, no. I thought Mr. Moran. Gareth! Aggravated assault! Man down! Officers in pursuit!
She had a moment there. Interesting.
There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has nothing to do with what's happening here.
What's the situation, officer?
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer!
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
What if I'm an imposter? I'm in full uniform. We're cops. We have our badge. We really are cops. Look, my badge.
License and registration! License and registration! Come in, dispatch! Sector! Sector! Azimuth!
This poor woman, she needs help, you know?
It's not a code, just disjointed words.
Are you on drugs? That's the only option. Other than trying to get the gun.
Confiscated contraband! Restricted access! 2 kilos missing! Eyewitness report compromised!
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
Okay, well, 58% chance we can always reload. Reload the save. Playing words. Okay.
She's frantic,
No.
confused, teetering under all that gear. There's an opening if you just move fast enough. If not, the lieutenant's got her in his sights.
No.
Confined quarters! Assailant coming at me! Split second decision!
Oh boy.
Fire at will!
Oh my God. In your peripheral vision, the lieutenant releases the half-squeezed trigger.
God, I almost blew her head off.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
Pick it up.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
This limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is grinding to a halt. Tired of walking the desert, it doesn't want to feel or think anymore.
Oh well. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Wow, this is intense. And heartbreaking.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
What do you think is happening to her?
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this.
But why would she like this in the first place?
Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8. And loneliness.
You're right. Loneliness.
Yeah. Looks like a bad case. But the question is what to do with her right now.
See, I'm fine with this option, but touching her doesn't seem like a good idea either. I'm very sorry this is how life turned out for you.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
Should we just arrest her? That's the only option?
I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without the gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family.
Wait, I was really hoping I can give her one of those call station slips. Yeah, Titus sounds like the man for the job. I don't want to endorse their sense of self-worth. They're not cops here. Okay, well, if Kim thinks we could let Titus know, we'll do that.
Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late, and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done.
Please, leave the radio on.
Reflex to what? Being left alone? She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and flashes now. Maybe if you search her once more? The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them? Do.
Pick up the cap.
She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
Oh, is that yours?
It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours.
Maybe. Probably. You know me.
It's your hat.
Alright. Leave her be. Wow. We got our gun back. Equip this when times are most dire. Yeah. +1 authority. Okay. As for Hardy and the pigs, ask Titus Hardy and his boys to take care of the pigs. The woman catatonic on the boardwalk. It's their district, their mess, their responsibility. Wow. Alright. I think this is a good time to end the episode. I'm feeling pretty emotional, I'm not gonna lie. I just want this woman to get the help she needs, you know? And in the next episode, we'll pick up with talking to Titus, see if they can help her out. So on that note, thank you everybody for being here with me. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Remember to save your progress, and I will see you in the next video.